So, to start off this video, I wanted to clarify that I have never played Alone in the Dark as a kid, nor did I ever play Resident Evil as a kid either. The games that I played as a kid were Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, Lego Star Wars, House of the Dead, Robots, and A Dog's Life. I really only stepped into the world of survival horror via Resident Evil 7 in 2017, and then stepped into psychological horror via Silent Hill 2 in 2019, although I did play the HD collection first, by the way, so eek. I didn't know how to play the original Alone in the Dark game, so I just kind of didn't. I didn't want to watch a playthrough either, because I felt like I wouldn't get the experience that I wanted to get. When I found out I was able to play the original via Steam, I thought, why not record myself playing it and give my first impressions and reactions? And it definitely went well. Okay, well, this is going great so, this is going great so far. Okay. That's quite some health. Although, I didn't even think to try out the game as a whole until I found out there would be a remake of the game coming soon, and they brought out a prologue teaser demo thing, and I played that, and honestly I wasn't very hyped for the full release at the time. The type of game that it is just really doesn't vibe well with me. From what I understand, it's a Lovecraftian type horror game, and I'm not really a fan of those type of games. It's the same reason why I tried out a game called Call of Cthulhu, the remake, but then quit like after 5 or 10 minutes. From what I remember, I just got stuck in the beginning of the game and I didn't really think anything grabbed me for me to continue, so I kind of just quit. If I'm going to be honest here, I think the only thing that grabbed me for getting the remake of Alone in the Dark was David Harbour. He's an actor who also starred in Stranger Things, and arguably one of the best things that happened in the show. So when I heard that he will be in the game, I was like, oh, I'm so going to get this and play this. Now, as much as playing as David's character was interesting to me, he sadly wasn't able to carry the game for me. I thought I'd be able to get invested in what's going on through the eyes and performance of David's character, who's named Edward Carnby, by the way. But unfortunately, the presentation of the game just lacks anything interesting for me, and it feels like I've gone back in time, and sometimes I don't really mind that, but I feel like the storytelling just isn't there for me to get invested in. The music selection I really wasn't a fan of, though it does seem fitting for this type of game. I just don't really gel well with the music that they selected, which is another reason for my lack of investment. The gameplay itself, though, is okay. There are minor nitpicks that I have with the gameplay, which doesn't really take much from the experience, but they are nitpicks nonetheless. One of the nitpicks I have is of the notes you collect. I don't know why, but when you pick up a note, there's like audio that you can listen to if you don't feel like reading, which is nice, of course, it's nice. But it plays automatically, and it feels like you're being forced to listen rather than you wanting to listen. It's like you walk into a room and someone just starts talking to you. You don't really want to shut them up, do you? So you want to be respectful and polite to let them finish talking, right? Now, it's not the greatest comparison to make, of course, but the audio playing automatically is just kind of annoying to me. It makes me not want to know what they're saying. It's kind of weird, I know, but that's just how that's just how I felt, okay? Now, apart from that, there is also one little tiny nitpick, but also bit of a bigger nitpick. So the tiny one is how you start running and your field of view changes, and then when you stop running or moving, it slowly changes back. But why change it all? And why change back slowly? It's more distracting than anything, really. Now, the bigger nitpick I have is with the weapons you pick up. This part heavily reminds me of Silent Hill Downpour and Silent Hill Origins, both games I kinda dislike. You pick up the weapons, either a pipe or an axe or any other melee weapon that you just find around, and you fight with it. Those melee weapons also break, which is why it reminds me of those other games. I can understand an axe breaking, but a pipe? Isn't that metal? Okay, I can understand they're breaking, but surely it would take much longer to break, right? The metal? The pipe? I just think these weapons have the same damage to them to break fairly easily, which really does remind me of Silent Hill Origins, honestly. Also, hang on. You're telling me that the door is wedged shut because of something underneath, and you can't just remove it yourself? Why do you need a tool to do so? God, games like these that require something, or require certain things to do the most basic things, really just drive me up the damn wall. Oh, and another nitpick I have is about the map. Why do we not have a button to just pull up the map? Both Resident Evil and Silent Hill did this flawlessly, so why couldn't this game? Anyway, that's just another nitpick of mine. Oh wait, I just realised you can hold down this button to get the map up. I can't believe I completely missed that when I was recording. Also, why is there a little zoom when you unlock and open up a door? That just makes me assume that the zoom is zooming onto something important, but it's just a zoom? It just zooms and then you can play and it's back to normal? So what was the point? I don't even know if it does the zoom all the time when you unlock and open up a door, but from what I've seen, it does that zoom and it just kind of seems a bit pointless. Okay, so now let's just talk about the combat, aka the gameplay of this game. As much as you might see people talking about the combat as pretty good and realistic and all that stuff, the combat is pretty abysmal. Like, I'm not even exaggerating here. The combat is frustrating and annoying. Well, at least the further on you get in the game. At first, the combat is fine, as you have the option of a gun or a melee weapon, and I usually just go for the melee weapon because I like to save up on my ammunition, you know? Okay, so I just got to chapter 2, and I keep getting my ass handed to me by these guys. These guys I'm kind of alright with, but these guys, nope. I managed to get myself through chapter 2, though it was a bit of a slog to get through. That forest section, then leading into this library section with that Egyptian thing, well, that part wasn't so bad, as it's just sort of a chasing game and just trying to get away from that Egyptian thing. I suppose I haven't really talked about the story, like, at all. And quite frankly, I don't really know what the fuck is going on, and I don't quite care at the same time. So there's that for the story. I mean, all I can really say about the story is we're trying to find Jeremy, and we're trying to help relieve him of his possession or mental illness. I mean, whilst playing as Carnby, we get these psychic attacks, I think, when looking at this painting of Jeremy, and then when facing against that Egyptian thing, he also gets a psychic attack, I think anyway. I guess it's because he feels like he's close, but yet he's still so far away, though I'm not really too sure on that one. Okay, so I have now entered chapter 3, and why does this keep on popping up? Like, I get it, game. I can pick these stuff up to fight against the monsters. You don't need to keep on fucking telling me. Also, are you fucking kidding me? I do this crane job. I mean, not even a job. I just insert the key and done. And then I get a whole fucking avalanche of enemies? What the fuck, game? What in the actual fuck? I died while I was traversing this sewer system. and then get transported to here, only to not be able to fucking move. Thankfully though, I did just spray my weapon at the enemy in front of me to get out, wasting some ammunition though. Okay, so now we have picked up the Tommy gun, and in all honesty, it's kinda nice, but there is no satisfying feeling from using it, unlike using the shotgun. Even the pistol isn't very satisfying for taking out any of the enemies, mostly just missing them by trying to shoot the head.
Looks like the fog cleared up.
Well, at least you're not in Silent Hill. Hang on. What the what the fuck was this puzzle? We have this sarcophagus and this hint on the floor, yet there is quite literally no way to figure this out. To solve this puzzle, you have to translate the symbols to numbers, but I don't really understand how. I've looked up online, and apparently people just know? Well, I got this puzzle done by looking up the answer. I just don't really care at this point. Another thing. What is the point of crouching? If you can just press a button for these tiny little sections and you can just crouch underneath, the crouching itself is barely even crouching. I mean, look at this. Is that even crouching? More like slouching than crouching, I guess. So that entire section of using lights to open up doors and such, that wasn't that bad actually. The worst part was the constant back and forth, but apart from that, that was possibly my favourite part, besides how boring it kinda was. Also, side note, I really like how with the flashlight, your controller also lights up a bit. It's the little things that I can appreciate honestly, though this is only for PlayStation, I believe, sadly. So I've started chapter 4, and now I am stuck at this part. The doors are blocked, and I have no way of getting to the other side. I've tried looking absolutely everywhere, and it says about breaking into this person's office. And my first thought was, I can use my melee weapon, of course! But no. I don't know why not, but nope. So you know what, I think at this point, this is definitely where I'm gonna just stop playing. I was starting to really like this part because it got darker and the atmosphere got thicker, but nope, it had to make me stuck here. I mean, okay, not literally stuck because I could just simply watch a walkthrough and continue, but I'm just done with the game at this point. Okay, so that has been my review of the remake of Alone in the Dark. Both the original and the remake I have tried playing, but got nowhere with both. Though I got further in the remake, but that's not really much surprise. Did I enjoy the game? I can't say that I did. Otherwise I would have kept going, of course. At least I can definitely say I gave this a fair shot, both in video form and by myself. Though, if I'm honest, if there was literally anything that I latched onto in the game, I probably would have continued despite the frustration, because sometimes the frustration is kind of worth it in the end. So everybody, that has been my review of Alone in the Dark, the remake. As you could probably tell throughout the video, I was not impressed by the game, unfortunately. But you know what? I'm glad that I did give it a try. I know that I've already said this in the video itself, but I'm glad I gave it a try, because at least I can say that I did try it, even though I could have actually watched a walkthrough and I, got through the game even more. I tried playing it all by myself. And yeah, now I must admit, I did not think that the video would not take this long. I thought that the video would take even longer to do, but it didn't actually take that long, and it's only because I didn't put too much into it, and Honestly, rightfully so, because I don't want to, like, bloat my video with so much, animations, text, and all that stuff, to, like, really destroy your brain and stuff like that. So I'm glad that I'm glad I've put enough in there to, I don't know, feel like it's, I don't know, there's like a flow in the video and not just, feeling flat, if you know what I mean. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope you have all enjoyed this small review that I made of the game. I've definitely got other reviews coming in the future of like Death Stranding, Silent Hill 4, well, more like why I love Silent Hill 4. Not really like a review, but just me talking about why I love the game so much. But yeah, I've got a review of Death Stranding. Now, with Death Stranding, I'm a little 50-50 on that. Like, I really like the game, and there are parts that just didn't really gel well with me. I've also got other video essays, not really like reviews, but just, I don't even know if you would even call them an essay, really. It's just me talking about a topic, like a certain topic, and I mean, if you call that an essay, then fine, okay, it's called an essay, but I guess it's just me talking about my thoughts about something specific, I guess. But that video will have to come at a later date because I've also got a Doctor Who 60th anniversary special review coming soon. I don't know when that will be out, but it will be out. But anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you guys next time. Peace out.